South Carolina.
Gotcha. Yeah, just
I'll look at it and see.
Sign up for some Legion ball as we set to begin inning number 2. Dutch Fork, they lead 1-0 here. And leading off, the right-handed pitcher, Hunter Phipps. First pitch to him, strike on the outside part of the zone. So Phipps, the right-handed pitcher, again, College of Charleston commit. He's been phenomenal on the mound. He's trying to pick it up at the plate. Next pitch to him, fouled right back into the catcher's mask. Cafferillo, think he's all right, just a little shaken up.
I'd be on the ground.
I mean, I would too. I mean, we saw it happened earlier, a ball that skipped up and the catcher had to come out later. But either way, Hunter Phipps at the plate this year, only 6 for 31, trying to pick that one up. He does have 3 RBIs, but he's looking to make some more noise at the dish. Pitch to him, now inside strike, 3 looking. Phipps goes down looking, and Wagner has his 3rd strikeout of the first 6 batters. Looks to bring up the left fielder, Boykin Bigley. Bigley, the right-handed left fielder. Try his fare against Wagner, who's starting to find his groove after a leadoff single. First pitch to the right-handed left fielder. Woo, ball 1, a little low and outside. Bigley, the junior, coming in off a 0 for 3 a performance in the win against White Knoll. Looking to bounce back here, but not an easy task. Wagner will deal home, swinging, fouled that ball into the dirt, strike 2, and that actually hit Cafferillo again. Second time he's been hit this inning, one by a ball and then once by a bat. Or I think both by a ball. That happened earlier. I'm getting my games mixed up, as the sun's now starting to beam directly on me. All right, well, top of the second, 1 down here. Dutch Fork leading it 1-0 against the Miller School in Charlottesville, Virginia. They've come down making their 7th straight Forest Acres Classic appearance. That ball fouled back and Bigley behind 0-2. Miller's making their 7th straight Forest Acres Classic appearance. Dutch Fork, only their 6th. They took a year off in 2021, and now they are back with the 3rd straight in a string of 3 and broken up into 2. Now Bigley, a ball chopped shortly over to third base. Ryan Jones on the hop, quickly fires, and he gets him out. Nice play from Jones over at third. Had to field it quickly and fire over to Hankins at first, but he delivers, and that's out number 2.
Stepping in the box for the Silver Foxes, number 7.
I will bring up number 7, the first baseman, Boone Miller. Boone, really known for his pitching on the mound. We'll probably see him later this week at the plate, looking to pick it up a little bit. Only 4 for 25 for Mr. Miller. Again, not an easy task. You've got Billy Wagner's kid on the bump. First pitch to him, low and outside against the right-handed hitter. Ball 1 from the right-hand flamethrower. Wagner breeze out. He's going to dish home. Pitch, low, ball 2. And what's been a kind of a calm second inning wind-wise. It's kind of moving a little, getting a little hotter, peaking around the low 80s. High 70s, if you will. 1 in, 1 from Wagner coming home, foul back into the backstop. Miller is behind 1-2. Wagner got a great defense behind him. He'll breathe in and fire home. Hot shot down the left field line, but that one will go foul. Boone Miller just got ahead of that. He does have a homer, excuse me. He has 1 home run this season. But he's been 4 for 35 in his last 35 plate appearances. He's trying to break out of what we would call a slump. He has the power to do so, just needs to connect. 1-2, swinging strike 3, and Wagner gets him down 2 here for the Silver Foxes in the 3rd. Candler Morden, right fielder. Wolves do battle against the right-handed Kason Wagner. Hard hit right at second. Chef on a rope catches it. Out number 1, and Morden, before he can barely get his name out, the right-hander's retired.
Now batting number 3, Brady Yarborough.
So Yarborough comes back to the dish, the only runner to come across here in the Forest Acres Classic. He scored on a wild pitch. It's the only runner Kason Wagner has allowed all season. He'll look to see if he can improve to 2-0 against Wagner. Pitch off speed high for ball 1. Yarborough coming in as one of the hottest hitters for this Silver Fox team. He's hitting, 385 as he watches ball 2 go by. The senior looking for a college so he can go find a home next year, but the kid gets on 51% of the time. He improved that last AB. 2-0 coming home to him. Strike on the outside part of the zone against the right-handed batter. Wagner has been putting on a rope as of late. Apart from the 1 walk and the 1 hit, he's been solid tonight. Now that pitch skied into right field, going over Rosales. He's a man to make a long run toward the line, loses his hat as he makes the play just in foul territory for out number 2. Wagner working quickly here in the top of the 3rd. Now the second baseman, Ethan Offing. Look at his shot at Wagner. He was a strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. Offing does have 9 strikeouts for this team and is now tied, or taking the, no, he's not taking the lead. I'm looking at walks, as he takes ball 1 outside. He still trails Boykin Bickley for the most strikeouts on the team, so. But 9 is not something number he wants to change, so we'll see if he can try to get it right here. 1-0 coming home from Wagner to off speed. Grounded over to short or 3rd. Ryan Jones plays it on the hop and gets out number 3. Wagner, you blink and you miss it. Goes 3 up, 3 down. 0 for 3 in the bottom of the against. Dutch Fort. 0 for 2 rather with a walk.
Number 24,
But Matthew Rollison will lead it off here. The PC commit. Back in his first appearance, Rollison popped out to the center fielder. That's righty on righty here to begin the 4th. The first pitch to Rollison, right down Broadway. Strike 1. So Miller does have success in this tournament. They won it back in 2019. They also won their 3rd of 3 straight Virginia State champions. That ball hard hit to the 3rd baseman, Jones. He fields it on the hop, throws it across the diamond to Hankins for out number 1. Easy does it for Miller. 2 pitches, 1 out here for the Mavericks. I also do apologize for my voice. Usually mentioned on each stream, but it's a little raspy today if you've heard me before. Allergies have not been my friend. Been drinking a lot of tea as of late, so been getting a lot better over the last 2 days. Well, that brings up the stud sophomore center fielder, Riley Sanders. Righty on righty as Wagner throws home and just misses outside for ball number 1. Sanders is one of the leading players at the dish here for the Dutch Fork Silver Foxes. Leads the team in average, in homers, in RBIs, as he watches a strike go by on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-1. He also leads the team in stolen bases too, and he ties for the lead in walks. But now he solo leads it after last inning, so he has 9 walks on the team. 1-1, the curveball, swinging strike 2. Wagner fooled him. I mean, that is such a nasty pitch. Both pitchers offering that curveball, which has been just absolutely filthy. Kason showing you why right there. He exhales, brings his glove down, wheels, deals home, foul tipped into the glove, strike 3 swinging for Salters, and there's 2 down. You blink and you miss it. Wagner now has 5 strikeouts through 4 innings and has really settled down here. He's retired the last 9 batters for the Silver Foxes. We'll see if Jarvis Jackson can break that trend. He was a strikeout victim to end the 1st inning. It's the right-handed designated hitter versus the right-handed pitcher. First pitch, fastball just missed outside, ball 1. Jackson coming into the night hot, however, Wagner stays off. He gets hitting over 300, however, it was 0 for 4 in their last win against White Knoll. Coming home the pitch, fastball right down Broadway, strike 1. Jackson thought it was a little low, but got right around the waist. So you'll have to now step back in with an even count. It's the top of the 4th. 2 outs, nobody on here for Jackson, the DH, who watched the strike hit the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Miller has a 2-1 lead, grabbing that with plating 2 in the 3rd inning. Dutch Fork, they struck first back in the 1st inning off a wild pitch. Now they're trying to get one back. 1-2, coming home, curveball, swinging strike 3, and Wagner's feeling it. He's retired the last 10, struck out the last 2, and Miller has a 2-1 lead going to the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back here to Forest Acres, South Carolina. It's a 2-1 Miller lead going into the 5th. The Silver Foxes now have Hunter Phipps up to begin the 5th inning. Looking to start something here against Wagner, who's really came into his own, retiring the last 10 batters, but it's a little high for ball 1. Wagner came into today with 0 earned runs given up. He had 1 come across off a wild pitch back in the 1st, but since then has been absolutely rock solid as Phipps fouls that one off the right side. It's 1-1. So an interesting note coming into today, this Dutch Fork team is not ranked in 5A, even though they're 8-4 with wins over Somerville, who was number 1 in the last ranking. But they haven't been updated in 2 weeks, so kind of curious to see if the Baseball Association of South Carolina will update the rankings sort of soon as that ball runs in on Phipps, and now 2-1. But Dutch Fork, they were unranked in 5A. They are 8-4, and they've won the last 5. I mean, they are on a tear, looking for some more. Now coming home, the curveball stays high. Ball 3 rather. And Wagner in danger of letting his first base runner on since back in the 1st, where he walked Salters. Now the pitch coming home, low, ball 4, and a walk for Hunter Phipps, a 5-pitch walk at that. So here comes a pitch runner for Dutch Fork as the sun takes a nice little reprieve going behind a cloud. Going to be number 17 over at first. That is Braden Johnson, the sophomore. He's yet to attempt a stolen base. We'll see if, now that they're down by 1 run here in the 5th, he'll try something. Wagner, it looks like he's a little upset about something. Maybe some infield placement. We'll see what happens as the first base runner since the 1st inning is aboard for the Silver Foxes as Bickley swings through a fastball. It's 0-1. We saw Wagner get into this last time after the wild pitch. Came out and threw Jarvis Jackson out in 3 straight pitches. We'll see if the same thing happens here to Boykin Bickley, who was a ground out victim back up in the 2nd. Wagner, he's working out of the stretch. He'll pick off the pitch runner at first, but no movement. It is a courtesy runner, not a pitch runner technically, because Phipps is the pitcher. So they are at the high school level. If you do not know, you're allowed to have a courtesy runner for the pitcher and the catcher. So that is what Braden Johnson is doing. The 1-1 coming in, swinging strike 2. Bickley swung at the high cheese. Looked like the changeup fooled him a little bit. And it's now 0-2 here against the right-handed hitter. It is to note that this is Miller's ace going against Dutch Fork's ace. So if any Flora fans are in the crowd, we do not have to face either of these 2 pitchers most likely throughout the rest of the tournament, even though after a 9-pitch inning and a 7th pitch inning in the 3rd and 4th innings, Kason may be able to pitch toward the later part of the week. Still not likely, though, considering he's probably going to go past this 5th inning.
He's at 57 right now, so
I think the limit's
like 18.
I think the limit's like 75, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's 75.
So, which if he has 75, he's retired for the rest of the tournament. 0-2 high. Now a snap throw back to first. Hankins tries to tag and just getting back in time, the sophomore. A good attempt there from Cafarillo. It was actually a great attempt at that. It was a perfect throw, but Johnson just got the hand in back. It's now 1-2 here against Bickley. Righty on righty. Nobody out. Man on first. Swinging strike 3. That curveball has been dangerous tonight. And the sophomore on the bump gets him swinging for his 7th strikeout here this afternoon. Well, Boone Miller took one for a ride, but it went foul last at bat. Ended up getting struck out by Wagner, one of the 7. We'll see if the right-handed first baseman has a little better luck this time and can keep one fair and or put one in play. First pitch, that ball's fouled right side over the netting. It's now 0-1. It's a 2-1 lead for the Mavericks, 1 down here in the top of the 5th. This is the opening day of the Forest Acres Classic. Both teams playing game number 1 and showing off their stuff right away, pitching their 2 aces. It's 0-1 against Miller. Wagner looks back at first. He'll fire home, and that ball hard hits the right side. That's a base hit. Oppo Taco for Miller, and Johnson will go from first to third. And just like that, there's trouble brewing here for the Mavericks. It was a beautiful piece of hitting. Boone Miller took a pitch away and just put it into right field. Rosales got it in as quickly as he possibly could. But the tying run now 90 feet away for the Silver Foxes. The 9-hole hitter, Candler Morden, will get his first crack to bring him home. So now a time, it looks like Billy Wagner. Yeah. So it's one of those interesting things to see that Billy is not coming to talk out, considering Wagner is an all-star pitcher. And we'll move back to the batter, Morden. Third baseman Jones is on the infield grass. That curveball way outside. That may have been a slider from Wagner. But luckily, Cafferillo was able to ground it. That would have been the second run brought in from a wild pitch tonight. Wagner probably would have been livid on the mound. It's now 1-0, the count 2-1. Read for the Mavericks, top 5, 1 out. Wagner comes home, deals, holds back as Morden. That's a high heat. Stays high, it's now 2-0. There is a bag open for Morden. I don't know if Wagner wants to put him there as the top of the order. And a man who already has got him once, Brady Yarborough, is at the dish. Will come to the dish. He's on deck. However, double play also still in order if it hits. 1-1, that ball, or 2-0 going down. Foul down the right side. Now it's 2-1. It's now kind of a nice day here in Forest Acres. It's partly cloudy as the sun has been behind a cloud for a little while, making it a very comfortable, like mid-70 temperature here.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Usually around this time, we were talking about it earlier, it's like seeping hot in Columbia, but right now it feels great. No complaints. Well, 2-1 here against the 9-hole hitter. He throws one in the dirt. Runner goes. That ball down to second. Not even a tag. Interesting. It looked like they may have had him, but he was trying to cut off to get the runner at third.
Yeah, I think it was intentional.
I think it was too. It's just one of those weird things that the runner at third, Braden Johnson, the courtesy runner, didn't break. That was called a ball, right? So it's 3-1?
Yeah. 3-1, yeah.
First base is open for the right-handed right fielder. Wagner does not want to walk him. He only has one tonight. And now he'll step off the rubber as now both corners move in. Hankins and Jones are on the infield grass. Middle infield back at double play depth. Outfield playing Morden straight up here. As that tying run 90 feet away at third with one down in the top of the fifth. Wagner, he is coming into the day 6 walks, now a 7 on the season. He'll come home with a 3-1 fastball, catches the outside part of the zone. Well, now umpire kind of looked down, didn't make it was so much for strike that Cafferillo kind of went for the throw. The umpire kind of looked down, didn't make the call at first, so Cafferillo legitimately stopped him, looked back and was like, "You didn't say anything." Umpire kind of holds his fist up for strike. So full count here for the 9-hole. And Morden, while Wagner was taking his time on the mound, will step out and take a second to himself. Wagner shakes off the pitch as the wind coming now in from center field. Full count pitch coming home from the righty. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Morden goes down swinging, out number 2 in the inning, and a big out for Wagner, who now has a path out of the inning. Well, now in will step in the top of the order. It's Brady Yarborough. Yarborough has one of the 2 hits of this game, and he has the only run for the Silver Foxes back in the first. He scored off a wild pitch. Back to regular depth is the Miller infield. They'll pitch to Yarborough. Curveball hits outside for ball 1. Good eye from Yarborough, not biting. It seems like this inning, what's been working for Wagner, that curveball has kind of gone off the rails a little bit. He hasn't really found the zone as much as he's used to in the first 4 innings of this game. He's behind 1-0 against Yarborough. That curveball just misses outside. Maybe it was a slider, but either way, the breaking ball's just not connecting. Yarborough looking for RBI number 6, maybe number 7 if it's hit in the right spot. He would love to try to get those back for Dutch Fork and retake the lead. Something they had up until that 3rd inning. 2-1 the game. 2-0 the count. Wagner, the righty, deals low outside. Ball 3 in that fastball. Stays in front. Cafferillo on the backhand. It was a very little scary sight for maybe some Maverick fans he didn't really slide, keep it in front of him. He rather just backhanded it. So Yarborough ahead, 3-1. off of Billy Wagner's kit. He'll come home with it. Ball 4. Didn't even attempt to pitch to him, really. A 5-pitch walk loads the bases here for the Silver Foxes in the top of the 5th. So now all the attention shifts over to Ethan Offing. Offing is 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a strikeout. The sophomore has a big spot here for Dutch Fork. This game could go a long way in deciding bracket number 1. It's righty on righty. Wagner comes home with the pitch. Low fastball, ball 1. Just missed, and it feels like Wagner is starting to get a little frustrated with the calls here. Kind of shaking his head a little bit as he walks back to the rubber. Offing has 7 RBIs. The bases are loaded. 2 down in the top of the 5th. Dutch Fork trails by 1. It's 2-1. Wagner comes home. That ball skied in the left field, but it's going to be playable, and Noah Gray going to sit under it. Now the center fielder Brownman will call him off in left center and make the play. Offing just got under that one. Had some power under it, but skied it to left center, and Miller, man, Kason Wagner